Hello, today I'm looking at M3 IAL International A Level, January 2016. This is question 2. So it says a particle P is moving in a straight line at time t seconds. The distance of P from a fixed point O on the line is x meters and the acceleration of P is this thing in the direction of x increasing. So in other words, this is positive. When t is 0, P is moving towards O with speed 8. So that would mean that the velocity at that moment is -8. Find the velocity of P in terms of t, and this is worth 3 marks. So because they gave me the acceleration in terms of t, I need to remember always that acceleration can be written as dv by dt or v dv by dx. And so in this case, because the acceleration is in terms of t, it would be a good idea to write acceleration as dv by dt. And then I can separate and integrate. So if I integrate the left-hand side, I get the integral of dv, or 1 dv. If I integrate the right-hand side, then I get this with respect to t. And now I can just go ahead with the integration. So the velocity is 6t minus, and here I get t squared, plus a constant. And now I need some initial conditions. Well, they told me here that when t is 0, it's moving towards O with speed 8, so therefore the velocity will be -8. So popping that in here, -8, here I get 0, here I get 0, so I get that c is -8. And now it's a good idea to write down the final full expression of my velocity with that value of c in. Okay, and that's for the first 3 marks. For part B, it says, find the total distance travelled by P in the first 4 seconds. So to find the total distance, then here I've got the relationship between velocity and time. So to find the relationship between distance and time, I just would need to integrate this with respect to t, or in other words, rewrite this as dx by dt. And then I can separate and integrate. And because they're asking me about the first 4 seconds, you might be quite tempted to just put in when t is 0, when t is 4, and then find the difference. However, if you look at this expression of v, we know that when t is 0, v is -8. And by the time you get to 4 seconds, if you pop a 4 in here, here you get 6 times 4 minus 4 squared minus 8. And in the end, you get that v is 0. So I just want to be a little bit careful when I'm trying to work out this integration and think about what this looks like. This is giving me a kind of sad face, and I would like to just think about for a second, where is this 0? Now, because I would just be very curious to understand, because I know it's beginning at -8 here, if this is v and this is t. I just want to understand if all of the graph goes underneath the t-axis or if some of it goes above it. Now, if I solve this, then I've got t squared minus 6t plus 8 equals 0. Then I can factorize this. So I would get t and t, and here I would get -2 and -4, because that will multiply together to give me 8 and add together to give me -6. So therefore I'm finding that this value here is 2 and this value here is 4. And so if I integrate from 0 to 4, then what is going to happen is here I will get a negative displacement, here I will get a positive displacement, whereas actually what I really want is this area plus this area. And so if I do the integration all in one go, it's going to do this area, subtract this area, which will give me the wrong answer. Okay, so I need to do this integration separately from 0 to 2 and then from 2 to 4. So x is going to be the integral from 6t minus t squared minus 8 with respect to t. Okay, so I could go from 0 to 2, and if I do that, this will give me a negative answer, or you can just invert the limits. So I'm going to go from 2 to 0. Then I need to go from 2 to 4, and here I don't need to do anything to adjust this because this is already going to give me a positive value. Okay, so these are the two integrals that I need to do now. So I know that I'm going to get, let's add 1 to the power here, so I get t squared, that divided by 2, so I'd end up with 3t squared, minus t cubed over 3 minus 8t, and that needs to be evaluated from 2 up to 0, and then I'm going to have exactly the same thing again, but this time I'm evaluating it from 2 up to 4. So when I put, as I'm going to have to put in 0, 2 and 4 into this expression, a good idea is to save whatever value I want to put in. So let's say 2. I'll store that into the memory A, and then I can just type in 3a squared minus a cubed over 3 minus 8a, and then I can just press equal, and it evaluates the expression with 2 in, and then if I put 0 in, then I can just, or 4 in, I can just store that into memory A and then press up and then recalculate this. Okay, so here when I put 0 into this, I'm going to get 0 minus what I get when I put 2 in it, so I end up with negative 20 over 3, and then I just need to evaluate this when I put 4 in. When I put 4 in, then let's see, so 4 store A up equals, and now it's re-evaluated it, and this time I get negative 16 over 3, subtract what I get when I put 2 in it, so negative 20 over 3. Okay, so putting all of those values together, then I get negative 16 over 3 plus 2 lots of 20 over 3. And so I get the final answer of x is 8. And so that gives you the total distance travelled by P in the first 4 seconds. So that part of the question is worth 5 marks. I hope you found this helpful. Do click like if you liked it, and good luck.